Hello ladies and gentlemen, ralfidude here. So in my last Elite Dangerous video, I have received an abnormal amount of comments, which is quite unusual. They were both positive and negative comments, so I figured that I would do a commentary on some more gameplay footage that I've acquired over the days as I started learning more and more about this and started to educate myself on some of the features and some of the future plans to this game. I would like to clarify one thing. I will not, under any circumstances, be comparing Elite Dangerous to Star Citizen. They are, as has been mentioned, different games with slightly different goals. It would be unfair to compare the two, just the same way it's unfair to compare, let's say, Call of Duty, which I passionately hate, with something like Battlefield. My overall first experience in Elite Dangerous is actually quite positive. I have very good things to say about this game, which is very strange and unusual for those who know me, since I am an extremely cynical type of person, because I tend to compare these games to some of the games that have shaped my gaming experience from my past. In any case, let's dive straight into it. The current features of Elite Dangerous are still in its initial stages, so there isn't too much you can do. However, what seems to be taking up most of the people's time is essentially dogfighting. You can jump into certain areas, or as you can see here, as I was jumping in Super Cruise from one place to another into a low-intensity conflict zone, I have an interdiction. Now this is an AI, so he's rather easy. As you can see, his text message on the top left corner is trying to shit-talk you, but yeah, I'm not having none of that, and I'm going to engage him instead. Amongst this, you also have other features, such as trading. You can buy resources at one place and try and jump to another place and sell them there. Beyond that, you can choose to be a good guy or a bad guy. The most common two roles that I've come across in multiplayer and from the videos that I've seen on YouTube are bounty hunters and pirates, though everybody mostly goes for the pirate area, as being a bounty hunter is sort of a little tricky, mostly due to the fact that whoever shoots first gets a bounty placed on their head, so people need to be shot at first in order to retaliate and not have a kill bounty placed on their heads, or something to that extent. There are rumors as to what is to be expected in the future. I know I've read some stuff on the forums where they've hinted at the possibility that you could be able to land at each and every single planet, or at least at most of them. I don't know the exact details. So if they were to implement something like that, a feature of landing at every planet you can jump to, while they're trying to map billions of stars and thousands, if not millions of places where you can jump to, well, that is rather crazy, but very exciting. The other rumor that I also have heard is that they are thinking about a first-person aspect in terms of walking around ships or the trading posts. However, I can't exactly find any confirmation on this. So if anybody has a link, go ahead and share it down in the comments section. There are obviously other features of Elite Dangerous that I haven't even covered, but if we were to go over all of them, I think we'd be here for days. Now, there was some sort of flame war going on the last video between Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous, so I wanted to get this out of the way. You are not going to see me doing any videos in Star Citizen just yet. The reason for this is I don't feel Star Citizen is in a stage where I want to go and play it. If I were to go in and play it now, I would get pissed off, and I would not like it. From what I have seen, it's just not there. And for the kind of amount of money that they received to be at this kind of stage, and then to release a dogfight module without track AR support, is just laziness. It's pure laziness on their part. But, you know, these guys, I wish them the best of luck, and obviously I've put money down like the rest of us idiots for the Kickstarter, so I really do hope that as the game actually gets developed further and further, it gets better, and it might surpass Elite Dangerous. I don't know. Only time will tell, and it's just one of those things. So instead of playing it and giving it a bad name in its current stage, I am just going to avoid it until it gets to at least an alpha stage. Now, before I got Elite Dangerous, I had to take a look at some videos and try to educate myself as to how this thing handles. So if you're asking how difficult is it to play, you're kind of asking the wrong person, because I come from this heavy simulator genre that this ain't no DCS. So for those people who know how to fly the A-10 coming into this game, you all know it's not going to be difficult. In Elite Dangerous, all you really have to concern yourself with are two areas. One is the bottom right corner, your systems, engines, and weapons. You need to make sure that you distribute the power levels between them accordingly to the situation. If you don't, you're going to have a pretty rough time. So 3 things to really worry about on the HOTAS is this is no biggie. The second thing you need to worry about is the radar in the center of your screen. Well, if you've handled the radar in an F-15 and Flaming Cliffs, or if you know very well what you're doing with the radar warning receiver of an A-10C, this is pretty much a cakewalk. It really is not challenging for me. And as someone who knows how to use HOTAS, I mean, this is just pretty easy to get into. I suppose the most difficult thing that I've come across is trying to get out of that state where this is not an aircraft, this is a spaceship. So I do have thrusters that will move me off to the side and up and down that I need to use in combination with pulling back on a stick. Now, what the developers have done is they've made it so that the yaw moves pretty slowly. They've done it for balancing issues as far as I've read. So the best way to turn is to pull back on the stick instead. Now, I have used this tactic in combination with using the thrusters at the same time, and I did do this in my first video as well. Most people didn't really catch on to that. I'm currently in the works trying to figure out what is the best way to turn. Flight assist on, flight assist off, with the thrusters at the same time. So it's still a work in progress, but this thing does take time, so as I put more hours into this, I figure it's going to just get better. So how has my first gaming experience been like online? Because I did refrain from going on there until I knew what I was doing. Well, when I first jumped in and I went to a low intensity area of fighting, met this big guy and did what I like to do best and try and fly a little bit of formation, which proved a little difficult with the X-52. My Thrustmaster died. But it was still fun. I mean, you can see the lighting effects are excellent. But after you get tired of that, you decide that, that's enough because this fucking ship is slow, so bye-bye. And go and proceed to eliminate this massive aircraft by yourself. And here you can see me using that flight assist off and just twirling around to keep the defensive guns on that massive ship from hitting you. Though right here, they got a little cheeky, so a little roll away and continue on. And I mean, this is as fun as it looks. It really is a lot of fun to do this type of flying. And there you go, got 300 credits, though I feel like I deserve more. And then some more flight formation, but this time flight assist off, and I'm flying backwards flight formation, which is was a new experience to me with 2 ships on the side. This was fun. I believe these guys are AI because they do not have hollow markers on the radar. And then I decided to see just how well I can control this aircraft in flight assist off while we were flying forwards. And this too was obviously a new experience for me, but still a whole lot of fun. There is a lot of detail put into these ships. As you can tell, I mean, I get pretty close. That's the canopy right there in the front. And this is probably one of the more fun things that I like to do instead of actually fighting. Because the fighting aspect can get pretty repetitive, kind of more a rinse-repeat when you're just dealing with one single laser that is not gimbaled. It is pretty difficult. I just now upgraded to 2 lasers, so yay. But it does take quite a bit of time to gain enough credits in order to upgrade your aircraft. And flight assist on, back to flying regular formation. Until, of course, I get bored of this crap because he's too goddamn slow, and I just say bye and proceed to the battlefield on my own. So you might be asking what I meant about that whole rinse-repeat with the dogfighting. When you're faced with certain AI, maybe because I was in a low-intensity area, you come across fights that are sort of like this, where you can get into a very good position and just continuously pound away at a guy with a single puny tiny little fucking laser, and this continues on for a while. So, what are some things I don't like about Elite Dangerous? Because this is pretty important to talk about. Big asterisk in all of these is, remember, this is still currently from alpha to beta stage. A lot of these things are more than likely going to change, so these are just my gripes with the current build of Elite Dangerous, alright? I'll get that out of the way. Good. Oh, the lag. Now, I figured there was going to be lag. This is a huge project, and as you can see, there are certain situations in which ships, which are AI like this one, just starts to warp around. This is one of the more minor situations where lag hit, but when there were a lot of people here shooting at this one ship, she would just start to warp a little bit and disappear in certain areas. The other form of lag that I've experienced is while going into Super Cruise, which is just a step below hyperspace. I believe it could be server lag, I'm not sure, just a glitch, but this would happen, where you're not actually going into Super Cruise, but you're kind of stuck in limbo in between the two. This was the biggest issue currently in the game, and it caused the biggest amounts of pains, and I had to Alt F4 out of this. I would wait an obscene amount of time sometimes for it to react, and it wouldn't, and I'm just like stuck here. Wasn't able to escape or do anything, so that's definitely something they're going to need to work on. Besides those, you also have the exciting glitches, like this, where I was just docked a second ago, and now I'm not sure what's going on. You know what, I'm not even mad. I'm impressed. That was pretty cool. The other two things that I have gripes with would be the amount of damage it takes in order to kill someone. You might have noticed that in my other videos, and including this one, it takes me like 5 minutes just to get a single kill. So with a single laser that's not gimbaled, it takes a hell of a long time. I guess that as I upgrade my ship and start getting better weapons, this is going to become much easier. And I guess the very last thing that I have a gripe with are either new people, griefers, or just stupid players. I'm not sure who was in the wrong on this particular one, but I was at the door first, so I'm gonna blame him on that one. And there's a lot of this going on. I mean, a lot of this going on. Now to answer the big question, should you get Elite Dangerous? The answer to this is simple. If you've seen this video and my previous video, but you are still not sold on the idea, then the answer is most likely no. However, if you're teetering on whether you want to get this or not because it sort of looks cool, you kind of like it, but there's just something that's off, do me a favor, bookmark this video or any other video you have that you really like for Elite Dangerous. Leave this alone for a while, go play Star Citizen or wherever the hell you want to play, and then come back to this in a few months' time, and then see what has changed. The price is definitely going to drop, so if that's the issue, then all you need to do is just wait, and it's going to drop down to $40, which by PC standards is actually cheap, seeing as all the other games nowadays are $60. So $40 for a released game is actually cheap. However, if you're trying to save money, and you can only get either Elite Dangerous or Star Citizen, I have no answer for you, because I cannot compare Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen. Star Citizen isn't even comparable currently at its stage because it's not even in the alpha stage. So I can't help you there. Maybe, hopefully, I wish that Star Citizen becomes a really good game, but as I currently see it, I like Elite Dangerous. Personally, I'm going to play the hell out of this game. So, there's your answer. Well, folks, that's it for this video. It's already far too long. I hope I did answer some of your questions, perhaps some of your concerns about this game, and I hope to see you guys in one of the servers one day. Cheers.